I made a very mediocre Braille typewriter, and I'm just making a video quickly and putting the files on the internet so that I can move on to other projects. This one can be done. Where's some paper? Sure, whatever. So the idea is that this is the the typewriter bit, and this is the feed forward mechanism. It's not great, but it's a start, I guess. So you push down on these things, feed forward, push down. I don't really, I'm not typing anything in particular, but then it makes little dots in here that you can feel. There's this thing in the middle which says like I took cardboard, I cut a little square, and into it I glued in the recess I glued this little. It's got dots in it. It's got little triangular holes in it that correspond to the pokey bits on the opposite side of the buttons. So then you line this up. And side note, it helps to line this up if you just push down on the buttons. It's because then it sinks into the dots and helps keep it in track. And then you can stick the thumbtacks in the little anchor holes at the top. This thing, likewise, you can anchor with thumbtacks. But the way this thing is set up is we have, one moment. I'll show you how to wrap this thing. So this the thumbtacks and this rubber band, I think, are the only non-printed component. I guess also the cardboard and the glue. Anyway, so okay, so we got this thing right. And we want the rubber band to both help keep this up and also make the bottom sticky. So if I can keep my hands on screen while I do this. How did this go? Okay, feed the rubber band through here. Now feed the top around through that loop. So that now it goes like that. Now you feed this down through here. You can get it to go straight. Feed it down through here. Cool. Now let me think here. I think this goes up through this bit here, and then let's see here, fold it around, and on each side you pull it around, you wrap it around, and wait, is that right? And I'm going to try it. Wrap it, come on, wrap it around. There we go. Oh, cool, that did work. So now it just kind of, see, it loops around and holds itself in place. And then you position it wherever makes sense on here. Like I said, this is not great at the moment. It only does one line, and the feed is not particularly stable. I think it would help if if on the other side you had another one of these that just kind of dragged on the paper and kept it from wiggling up or down, or if there was a little bit more, if this hung out a little bit more over the paper, but somebody else can deal with that, or nobody. Then you put that in there, so then So when you push down on it, it digs into the paper and pushes it forward, and when you let up on it, it kind of slides gently over the surface. Anyway. It would be much better if I had been able to come up with a sufficiently convenient like auto advance, like when you let up on the keys it auto advances, but it was just that would have been complicated, and I was running out of motivation. So hopefully this is enough to, if anybody wants to deal with it, they can figure out some way to improve it, or maybe it's just barely useful enough on its own. I suppose that I will also give a little bit of assembly instructions. Like for this segment here, it comes in, I think, 3 pieces. Well, 3-piece types. There's the base. There's these little flexi arcs, and there's the buttons on top. The buttons are kind of like, see, they're come on, focus camera. They're like that. They I don't know. Maybe you've seen greeting cards that slot together like that. These things, I'm not sure I can show you. It may or may not come out without breaking, but there we go. You might need to use one of these to trim this down to make it actually fit in this slot here. And you might also want to trim off any excess stuff up here so that it's a nice, it's a fairly fine point up here, so that it doesn't, and also clean out any threads and stuff that get left in the slots here, so that it doesn't mess up that doesn't jam this thing. I've found that using parallel pliers to grab to like grab these things like here, and then I pull down it like that. It also kind of works with the fingers depending, but pliers work when it doesn't want to go. So also you might want to number these things from I think these things are like, hang on. When you print the file that you print, I think is printed like this, and it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you would and they correspond to hang on. No, that's sideways. There we go. I think it's one. Oops, out a little bit. Got so this is up down. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It probably doesn't really matter, but I did the way I generated these things. The tips of these they kind of match the orientation that they would go into these little pyramid-shaped holes. Again, I don't know if it really matters because the resolution is kind of garbage at that level anyway, but it could matter. So, anything else I need to remember? Unlike some of my other prints, no horizontal expansion in this one. I just used this thing to make these fit. You might want to try horizontal expansion for the buttons. Not sure. They didn't really want to fit without it, and they were too loose with it. So just mess with it till it works, I guess. You probably want a skirt rather than a brim on these things because they are tiny, and it would be such a pain to try to remove a brim from those. But you might need to mash it into the print bed. If you've got a printer and have any experience dealing with it, that's It's your printer. You know what to do with it, hopefully. So I leave that up to you. Yeah. Oh, and I suppose it's worth noting the code should be linked in the description.